You've been waiting for months, maybe years. You've whispered prayers in the middle of the night, just hoping that Allah hears you. You've smiled in front of people but cried behind closed doors. You've watched others move forward while you remain stuck. But what if I told you your wait wasn't in vain? What if this delay was actually divine? What if your breakthrough is closer than you think, because Allah is saying, it will be big. Your delay is over. Help is here. This isn't a coincidence. You're watching this for a reason. There's something Allah wants you to hear, something that could change your heart, your hope, your entire life. So stay with me till the end, because by the time this video finishes, you will understand why Allah made you wait and why what's coming next will be worth every second of the struggle. There is a kind of pain that words can't describe, the pain of waiting. You've done everything right. You've made dua with sincerity. You've held on to your prayers, stayed away from sin, and trusted Allah when everything inside you wanted to give up. And yet the silence from the heavens remains. It's the kind of pain that creeps in late at night when the world sleeps and your heart wonders, did Allah forget me? No, He didn't. But you're human, and humans feel. We break, we bleed in the silence. And it hurts more because you're not waiting for something small. You're waiting for something that matters. Healing, love, marriage, a child, a new beginning, peace. Something your soul aches for. And when it doesn't come, you start to doubt yourself. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe Allah is angry with me. Maybe I'm just destined to suffer. But none of that is true. Even the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, the most beloved to Allah, knew the pain of waiting. Do you remember the years he spent in Makkah calling people to Islam? Ridiculed, threatened, beaten, and still he waited year after year. The help didn't come instantly. Victory wasn't overnight. Revelation itself paused for a time. And the Prophet, peace be upon him, felt abandoned. But he wasn't abandoned, and neither are you. Waiting is not a punishment. It is a process, a test, a preparation. Because what's coming is bigger than what you're asking for. Allah is not just planning your breakthrough. He's building you. That heartbreak you went through, it taught you how to love purely. That delay in marriage, it taught you to depend on Allah, not people. That job you didn't get, it saved you from a place you were never meant to be. And while it hurts, know that Allah sees it. Every moment you waited patiently is written. Not a single tear fell unnoticed. Not a single dua went unheard. You see, there's a secret about waiting that many people forget. The wait itself is a gift, because it forces you to return to Allah again and again. It empties your hands of everything, until your only option is sujood, until your only strength is tears. And that's where transformation begins. Look at how the prophets waited. Yusuf in prison, Musa in exile, Ayub in sickness, and the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, in the cave, in the boycott, in Taif, where he was stoned by children and left bleeding. He raised his hands and said, "O Allah, if you are not angry with me, I do not mind." Even in pain, he trusted. And soon after came the help. The doors began to open. That's how Allah works. He waits until you've let go of everything except Him, and then He gives you everything. So if you're still waiting, don't see it as a delay. See it as a divine setup. See it as Allah saying, "Not yet, because I'm saving something bigger." And when it comes, it will be so beautiful, so healing, that you'll realize every second of the wait was worth it. Hold on, because Allah is never late, ever. Have you ever wondered why, even after endless prayers, your answer doesn't come? Why does Allah who hears every dua, sees every tear, and knows every pain, still delay the very thing you're begging for? The answer lies in something deeper than your desire. It lies in divine wisdom, in a plan that is perfect even when it's painful. You see, when Allah delays something, it's not because He's ignoring you. It's because He's preparing something better than you imagined. And sometimes, He's preparing you. We often pray for what we want, but Allah gives us what we need and what we're ready for. If He gave it to you too early, it might become a burden instead of a blessing. Look at the story of Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him. He was thrown into a well by his brothers, sold as a slave, wrongfully imprisoned, years of delay, pain, and isolation. But every delay in his life was a piece of the puzzle. Had he not been imprisoned, he would never have interpreted the king's dream. Had he not been sold into slavery, he wouldn't have reached Egypt's palace. Behind every no was a greater yes. Behind every delay, a divine alignment. The same is true for you. Maybe Allah didn't give you that marriage yet because the person meant for you is still being shaped. Maybe that job didn't come because Allah is leading you towards something more fulfilling. Maybe that healing didn't arrive yet because your soul still needs the lessons that only hardship can teach. Delays are not denials. They are divine detours. Even the most beloved to Allah, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, experienced painful delays. For 13 years in Makkah, he was mocked, oppressed, and rejected. His followers were tortured. His own heart was shattered when he lost his wife Khadijah, may Allah be pleased with her, and his uncle Abu Talib in the same year. It was called Am al-Huzn, the year of sorrow. But even then, the help didn't come immediately. Why? Because Allah was preparing something bigger, not just escape, but hijrah, not just peace, but Medina, not just survival, but victory. After the darkness of Ta'if came the light of Isra wal Mi'raj. Allah took him from grief to the heavens. This is how Allah writes stories, with tension before the ease, with struggle before the relief. Because a beautiful ending means more after a painful journey. You may be thinking, but I've waited so long. I don't know how much more I can take. Allah knows that too, and that's why He says in Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah does not burden a soul more than it can bear. He knows your breaking point, and He'll never cross it. In fact, the longer the delay, the greater the arrival. When Allah makes you wait, He increases the value of the blessing. Just like a diamond formed under pressure or a seed that grows roots before it sprouts, you are becoming something strong in the silence. The Prophet Ayub, peace be upon him, suffered for years with disease and loss. Yet he didn't complain. He said, "Indeed, adversity has touched me, and you are the most merciful of the merciful." Surah Al-Anbiya 83. And when Allah restored him, He gave him back more than what was taken. So if your life feels slow, silent, or stuck, don't panic. Don't think it's over. Because Allah isn't finished with you. He's still writing, still unfolding, still arranging miracles in the background that you cannot see. And when it finally arrives, you'll look back at every painful night and realize it all had to happen this way. The heartbreak, the rejection, the waiting, because only through the delay did you grow the patience, the faith, the surrender. And now, you're ready for what Allah is about to send. So trust the process, because even in the delay, He is near. Even in silence, He is speaking. Even in waiting, He is working. And when the time is right, not a second late, you'll hear it clearly in your heart. This is what I was waiting for. Sometimes, before your life changes, your heart feels it first. You start to notice something you can't quite explain. A strange calm in the middle of chaos. A whisper in your heart that says something is coming. You may not see it yet, but your soul starts to prepare. Because when Allah is about to send His help, He often sends signs first. And one of the first signs is inner stillness. After months, maybe years, of restlessness, anxiety, and desperation, suddenly your heart starts to surrender. You're not fighting reality anymore. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start saying, Ya Allah, I trust you. That shift is no coincidence. That's preparation. Another sign? You start hearing reminders everywhere. You open the Quran and the verse speaks directly to your situation. You scroll online and see a quote that answers your thoughts. A khutbah, a reel, a random message. But none of it is random. That's Allah, speaking to you in whispers, in moments, in signs. That's Him saying, I see you. Just hold on a little longer. And then, you'll begin to see people come into your life. The right friends, the mentor you needed, a stranger who says something that shifts your entire mindset. These people are not ordinary. They are answers. Allah places them in your path at the right time to push you forward, to give you light when your candle is almost out. Don't ignore these signs. They are gentle but powerful, like winds before the rain. They come quietly, but they change everything. Even your dua starts to change. Before, your dua was filled with urgency and desperation. But now it's full of certainty. You start praying like you know it's already coming. That's a powerful sign. Because when your heart moves from begging to trusting, that's when Allah's help is closest. And sometimes you'll feel like everything is falling apart right before the breakthrough. That's another sign. Just like the night is darkest before Fajr, sometimes life gets most difficult right before the ease. That's not a breakdown. That's a spiritual contraction before a new birth. So if you're seeing these signs, don't ignore them. Embrace them. Cherish them. Thank Allah for them, because they mean He has already heard you. And now, He's showing you that the help is on its way. If there's one trait that unlocks the help of Allah, it's sabr. Not just the patience to wait, but the patience to trust. To hold on when nothing makes sense. To believe when your heart is breaking. To stay standing, even when life keeps knocking you down. Sabr isn't weakness. It's one of the strongest acts of worship. It's what Prophet Ayub, peace be upon him, showed when he lost everything. His health, his wealth, and even his children. But still said, "Indeed, adversity has touched me, and you are the most merciful of the merciful." Surah Al-Anbiya 83. He didn't say, "Why me?" He said, "Ya Allah, you're still merciful." That's sabr. It's what Maryam, peace be upon her, held onto when she carried a miracle no one understood. When the world judged her, but Allah honored her. It's what Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him, showed in the well, in the palace, in the prison, until Allah raised him to the highest ranks. Sabr isn't just waiting, when it's how you wait, with dignity, with tawakkul, with a heart that whispers, "If Allah brought me to this, He'll bring me through it." Because sometimes your patience is the test. Allah already wrote the blessing, but He's watching. Will you still believe when nothing is visible? Think of it like the seed buried underground. The farmer doesn't panic when he can't see the sprout on day one. He trusts the process. He waters it. He waits. He knows. Growth happens in silence, in the unseen. That's how sabr works. You don't need to feel strong to be patient. You just need to not give up. Even the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was told, "So be patient. Indeed, the promise of Allah is truth." Surah Ar-Rum 60. And look what happened. His patience in Makkah led to victory in Medina. His pain in Ta'if led to Isra wal Miraj. His tears in Sujud brought guidance for all of humanity. What if your sabr is unlocking something right now, something so beautiful, so powerful, that it needs time to arrive? What if your story is still unfolding? Sabr doesn't mean you feel nothing. It means you keep walking even when your feet are heavy. You keep praying even when your heart is tired. You keep believing even when your eyes see no sign. Because the one you're waiting on is Ar-Rahman, the most merciful, and he never wastes the patience of the believer. So keep holding on, because with every second of sabr, you're getting closer to your miracle when Allah finally sends his help. It doesn't come quietly. It comes in ways that leave you speechless. It arrives so perfectly, so powerfully, that all you can say is, only Allah could have done this. You may have spent years in tears, drowning in dua, holding on with every ounce of faith. And then suddenly, the door opens. Not just the door you were knocking on, but doors you never even saw. That's how Allah works. He doesn't just answer your prayer, he gives you more than you asked. Because while you were waiting, he was planning. While you were struggling, he was preparing. And while you were whispering, Ya Allah, in sujood, he was saying, it's coming. Remember Prophet Musa, peace be upon him? Trapped between the sea and the army with no escape in sight. That's when Allah split the sea. Not earlier, not later. Exactly when it seemed impossible. And that's how he helps you too. Right at the edge of hopelessness. He sends a miracle. But here's the truth. The help doesn't just arrive to solve your problem, it comes to elevate you, to grow your faith, to prove that every second of patience was worth it. You look back and realize the delay wasn't punishment, it was preparation. And now, you're not just healed, you're stronger, wiser, closer to Allah than ever before. The pain made you pray, the silence made you listen, and the wait made you fall in love with the one who never left your side. So when the help comes, let it humble you. Let it remind you that no matter how dark the path, Allah never forgot you. And the next time you find yourself in waiting again, you'll smile. Not in fear, but in faith, because you'll know the delay is mercy. And the help, it's always bigger than you imagined. This is not just a video, this is a message from Allah to you. You've cried long enough. You've waited patiently. You've whispered du'as when no one else knew your heart was breaking. And now, Allah is saying, your delay is over. My help is near. And what's coming will be big. This pain didn't break you. It built you. This waiting didn't waste you. It prepared you. And all those silent nights in sujood, they were heard. Every moment you thought you were forgotten, he was writing a chapter more beautiful than you could imagine. So breathe, ya qalbi. The storm is ending, the light is rising, and your name is written next to something extraordinary. Your job is not to figure it all out. Your job is to trust, to keep walking, to hold on to the rope of Allah when everything else slips away. And soon, maybe even today, you'll say with tears of joy in your eyes, this is what I was waiting for. From Allah to you, with love,